Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Open University.
Hello friends, welcome to Chaitanya Studio at Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Open University, Ahmedabad. Myself, Dr. Vinod L. Desai, working at Department of Computer Science and Technology, Sardar Patel University, Vallabh Vidyanagar. In today's sessions, we are going to talk about string object of JavaScript. As we know that string is a collection of characters. Okay, so we can declare the string for various kind of purposes, and we can manipulate these strings for retrieving or extracting the few important informations from the available strings. So let's move further to discuss about the string and its functionality. So what the string is and how do we create it, how do we manipulate it. So the JavaScript string object is a core JavaScript object which is used to treat string as an object, also called a wrapper object, since it wraps itself to a primitive string, enabling you to apply various properties and methods to it. That means string object is a core object in a JavaScript, and we can create it to manipulate various functionality from the available content. A string object is created using the keyword new and the string function, or we can say object constructor method, and value is assigned to a JavaScript variable using the quoted string or double quote of text. Let us see how do we create a string objects. So use the following syntax if you want to create the object of a string, like variable name is equal to new string. So here we are using a new keyword to create a string object. The string parameter value is a series of characters that has been properly enclosed. Then we can create a string primitive using single literals and the string function as follows. So there are various ways to get the string objects. First one, see here str1 is having using a single quote, then we have a double quote, then we have a backticks, and in the fourth string object we are using a string functions to create a string. So there are various ways to get the string objects, but that single quote and double quote here in a JavaScript doesn't make any difference. So you can either quote it using a single quote or in a double quote. But if certain string is a, we can say, part of the another string, then we have to use special characters to manipulate that quoted string from the available strings. String properties are there, various properties available in a string. Among that, the one is constructor, returns a reference to the string function that created the object. The length property is also there, which returns the length of the string. Prototype property is already there. The prototype property allows you to add properties and methods to an object. So these are the properties of a string objects in a JavaScript. Now there are various methods available in a strings that we can create and use it to manipulate our string. So static methods available in the string class itself are from character code. It converts the sequence of UTF-16 code units into the strings. Second one is the from code point. So creates a string from the given sequence of ASCII values. So these two are the static methods in a, you can say, string in a JavaScript, while the REST instance methods of the string are there, that we will see one by one. Okay, various instance methods are available in a JavaScript string object, and that we can manipulate it using the string. Okay, so let's see one by one. Practically we will check it. First one is at, the returns the character from the specified index. So whatever index we have specified, through that index it will return the character of a particular string. Then after character at, so this method returns the character at the specified index. Okay, we will test this one. Before that, let me to make you very clear that whatever string objects we are creating in our program or in our, we can say, applications, that is immutable. Immutable, that means once the string object is created, it is not allowed to change. Okay, we can't change the string once it is defined. We can replace the string, but we can't modify. That's why it is known as immutable. Let's see practically immutable. As you can see in this program, that we have one script tag, one paragraph is there with ID output, and in the script tag we are defining one constant output is there, okay, variable with a document.get element by ID output of paragraph, and we have defined one string, that is animal. And now what we are supposed to do, we are trying to change the first letter of string, that is A, with a V, as we are trying to put it on a index 0. So that means we want to change the first letter of string A with a V, and then after we want to print it. Okay, again in the next line we are trying to change the whole string or replace the string with a birds instead of animal, and then after again we are printing it. So now let's see what happens, whether it allows us to modify the string or it allows us to replace the strings. First one, immutable. So you can see here that it prints as it is the first animal string, and then after we have replaced with a bird, so the updated string is birds, but it is not allowing us to modify the string first letter of animal with a V. So that's why we should be clear and we should be aware that whatever string objects we are creating in our JavaScript, that is immutable, that is immutable. If you want to get the character at particular index, then you can use character at method as well. Let us see, suppose we have a string str, and if you want to get it, then we can write like this, document dot character at method. Okay, any index, suppose 0, 1, 2, 3. From third index we want to fetch document dot write. Okay, we have to use document dot write. Within that we will use the str string object along with this method character at. Okay, so it will display. Let's associate it with a proper message so that we can understand. The character at index 3 is, then after we will put a, we can say break, okay, br. Now let's run it again and see what happens. Something went wrong. Let's check. Okay, document spelling is wrong. Okay, now it's fine. See here, the string at animal, the character at index 3 is M. At last it displays, fine. So through this way we can get the particular character at specified index using the character at method. Same way character code at, so returns a number indicating the Unicode value of the character at the given index. Okay, character code at, let's test it. Character code at, on the same we can say string character code at third index. Okay, let's refresh it. So the Unicode character is 109 for this specified character M. Okay, so this way we can have the idea of different methods to manipulate the string. Then code point at returns number indicating the Unicode value of the character at the given index. Okay, let's test it what it returns. Code point, instead of code at, it returns code point at, character code at, code point at. code point at. Okay, you need to be clear with the capital and small letters of a method. Okay, generally it follows the Java syntax, so it becomes very easy for us to remember the method naming conventions. Now let's code point at returns what? Let's test it. Okay, it returns the same Unicode character 109, no change. Next, concat method is there, so combines the text of two strings and returns a new string. So we can use concat method. Okay, let's test the concat. So for that we need to create another string. We have another string birds. Okay, so simply we can have document.write at last. Okay, document.write, and we can use a method over here, string 1 dot, then str1, that means str dot concat, and in bracket specify the, okay, we have two objects of str, so we need to create another object. Like now we don't want to replace, okay, so we are going to create another object str1, just have a like this variable str1, so str dot str concat str1, so we are going to concat animal and birds, and the new string will be displayed, animal birds. Okay, if you want to put a space you can put a space, but that would be in the string itself, then and then it will bifurcated, otherwise not. Let's see like this. Okay, if you want a space in between two words, then you have to provide the space in a string itself. So this is a concat method that concates more than one strings. Then ends with, checks whether the string ends with a specified character or substring. Okay, it returns, okay, ends with will return true or false, ends with a specific character or substring. Let's try to test. Okay, while manipulating the string through these methods, it is very important to know the arguments that a particular method requires. If it is not aware the number of arguments and what kind of arguments a method requires, then it would be difficult for us to test these methods. Okay, so it is very important with what kind of arguments it requires, ends with. It ends with str dot ends with. Okay, now str must contain, let's test, okay, character L, it is requires character, okay, specific characters, so it ends with L, string 1. Let us test what happens. Yes, it returns true. See, as we can say that animal is ending with a letter L, so it returns ends with, okay, ends with, we have used a method and specified a, we can say, letter L as an ending letter, as you can see over here, and once we execute it returns true, that means it is matching it. Same way for includes, to check whether one string exists in another string. Okay, so if you want to test a substring in certain kinds of substrings that we want to check, includes. Okay, for that we need to make a strings in such a way that we need to have another string. Let's to test such kind of things, and define a variable str3 is equal to we are Indians, we are Indians, like this. And if I want to check this string contains another string in the form of R, Okay, str includes is a method, and I want to check r is a substring, okay, in a string 3 str3 that we have just defined, whether it includes r or not. Let's test it. Yes, it returns true. Okay. So this way we can test the string methods, but again I am repeating that we must be aware that what kind of arguments a particular method requires. Suppose I am passing any other string which is not part of this str3 Gujarat, then it will return false. Okay, as you can see on the screen. Moving next is index of, last index of. So index of returns the index within the calling string objects of the first occurrence of the specified value, or -1 if not found. Okay, index of. So the first occurrence it returns. If the string is having number of repeated occurrence of the specified value, then it will return the index of the first occurrence, not the later on. At the same way, it returns the last index of the specified value. Then locally compare method is there, which returns a number of indicating whether a reference string comes before or after, or is the same as the given string in short order. Okay, locally specific string comparison is there. Then match method is used to match a regular expression against a string. We have already discussed this match method in a regular expression in previous sessions. Okay, once we have regular expressions, then we can use this match method. Match all, used to match all occurrence of regular expression pattern in the string. Then normalize to get the unique normalization of the string. Paired end to add padding to the current string with a different string at the end. These are, we can say, rarely used methods. Paired start, then replace is okay. We can replace the string with another string, used to find a match between a regular expression and string and replace the matched substring with a new one. Okay, we can use the replace method with a matched string. Let's test it in a regular string and test. Okay, instead of includes, let me do Control C, Control V, str3 replace we need to replace Indians with Gujaratis. Okay, Indians. First it will try to find the Indians and then replace it with Gujaratis, like that. Let's test what happens, whether it works. Let us check it again. Used to find a match between a regular expression and string and replace the matched substring with a new one. Okay, fine, it must be. Let's refresh the page. We are Gujaratis. Okay, so the replace method works over here. We have just, what we did, we have simply used the replace method with a newly created string 3 object and just searched whether the string 3 contains Indians, and if it is finding it, then it replaces the Indians with a new string, that is Gujaratis. So this way we can use the replace method. Same way replace all method is there, used to find a match between a regular expression and string and replace all the matched substring with a new one. Moving next, a repeat method is there. What does it mean? So it to get a new string containing the n number of copies of the current string. Okay, repeat method is used to get a new string containing the n number of copies of the current string. Okay, simply it repeats or not. Search is executes the search for a match between regular expression and a specified string. It searches the particular pattern from the string. Slice extracts a section of a string and returns a new string. Okay, slice method is used for extracting a section of a string and returns a new string. Now slice method may have more than one parameters. Okay, it may have 1, or it may have a n number of, we can say 2 parameters, 3 parameters. Same way with a substring. Okay, let's try to extract. We have already made a slice program. Let's go for that now, so that we can have idea better way, in a better way. Okay. This is not, we can say, so this is all about string property length, string all is there. Okay, here I have used this slice. Okay, see here. Before that, let us further, then these are various important methods, slice, substring. Before that, let us complete the other important methods. The uppercase, lowercase kind of things. Okay. If you want to convert the string to uppercase and lowercase, there are methods uppercase and lowercase, as it may be contained in the list of methods. Moving next. Okay, locale specific, two locale case, two locale lowercase, uppercase, two lowercase and two uppercase methods is there. So let us test it first, one by one. So we have 3 string objects. So let's convert one to, okay, let us, we define another, we can say string object, string for with a capital. Okay, capital string. So because we want to convert it into the lower, string for two lowercase. Okay, two lower case. L remains capital, that is very important, you need to be aware. And string 3 to uppercase, we will simply convert it into 2 uppercase. Okay, let's refresh it and check. As we can see that capital is converted to a lowercase and the string 3 we are Indians is converted to a capital letters. So this is all about the case matters, case kind of methods, lowercase and uppercase. Among that, the trim method is also there, which removes white space from both ends. And if you want to remove this white space from a particular end, that means from start or from end, we can use trim end methods, which will remove the white spaces from the end, and you can trim the white space from the beginning using the trim start method. And if we have the white space at both the ends, then we can generally use, if we have like a string like this. Okay, so now we can simply use the method trim. So it will remove the unnecessary space from both ends. Trim for the string for. Okay, this way it white space can't be, we can say, seen, so we can't visualize it. But if we are going to print it, let us see, then and then we can have an idea. Okay, the white space can't be, we can say, it is not visible, so it becomes very difficult for us to know whether the white space is considered or not. But generally trim is used and it removes the white space from the beginning as well as from the end, from both the ends. Okay, now moving to the main methods like slice, split, substring and substring in a full way. So here we have, we can say, one string, that is input string, which contains welcome to Sardar Patel University, Vallabh Vidyanagar. Okay, that is a content in a string, input string. Now what we want to do, we want to slice with a 7. So what the slice does, let's go to that method. So it extracts a section of a string and returns a new string. So starting from the 7th, okay, it extracts it. The same way substring does what? The substring returns the characters in a string between two indexes into string. Okay. Another substring returns the characters in a string between at the specified locations through the specified number of characters. So there are various formats, as we see that slice requires a single index, substring also uses single index. Okay. Okay, now let us test to understand the methods. First, let us go for the slice, and I will comment it so that there should not be any kind of confusion among the other things that is discussed above. Is already we have discussed, like the concatenations, uppercase, lowercase. So that is not of our interest. Okay, so don't focus on that. We are simply directly going to this methods slice. So let us execute this string all methods. So what it does, simply, so it fetches from where 2, okay, starting from, so as we have specified a 7th to the slice index, slice method a 7th index. So 7 starts with where? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Okay, that means 7 is already there, leaving it, it starts with a 2, and then after the rest of the string it prints. The slice method does a, starting from that it fetches the rest of the string. Now comment it and just go for another substring. Okay, that means substring method having the, keep it as same index, refresh it. So it does the same thing. See here, if you are specifying the same index, then it returns the same substring from the specified string. Another method is there. Okay, let us comment it. This way we can understand the difference. Okay, if you will execute all the methods parallelly, then it will be very difficult for you to understand what a particular method does. So this is the difference, is that first one was the slice method, another is the substring, third one is the sub str method. Okay, and in the same we are specifying the same index 7. Let us test. Okay, it also returns the same result. So all the 3 methods does the same thing while specifying a single index. Okay, it may differ based on the parameters, starting index, ending index, then these methods are going to differ. So sometimes it depends if you want to fetch a whole string from the particular index, while sometimes we are in need to fetch the string from specified index, that means starting and up to the specified ending index, as we will see in the next method. Slice from 4 to 9. Okay, so it will fetch from 4 to 9 index. So we will comment the previous one, and here also we will provide a comment. Slice method again, refresh it. So now it returns from 4 to 9 index substring. Same way for, we can say, substring method. SUB-STR from 6th index to 10th index. No, from 4 to 9, it is also returning the same content. Now Again we are changing the index from, instead of for 9 we are changing 610. So the changing output would be there, substring. Then after we can also provide negative values, say here, okay, in the form of -4 to slice method, substring and substring. So what actually it returns, that you can see. So it counts from the backward direction. Let me to comment the rest of the lines. So here what we have done, we have provided a minus argument, negative arguments in terms of -4 slice. So let us test it. So what it does, so from the backend side it fetches the last 4 characters, okay, last 4 characters in a slice method, okay, comment it, and then a substring also, what it does, substring doesn't, like, we can say accepts negative, sub, another one is there, sub str, let us test it, okay, again it returns the last 4 characters if we are providing a negative arguments. So these are the important methods of, we can say, a string object in the form of collection of characters, and we can manipulate this string using the various methods we have discussed so far, and fetch the required string substrings from the available content from the string. Okay friends, in these sessions we have learned the string object, how do we create string, how do we define a string literals, we can define a string using a single quote, we can define a string using a double quote, we can create a string by specifying the literals or using a new keyword. String objects are immutable objects, means it can't be changed once it is defined. Then after, at last, we have seen various methods of a string objects to manipulate the string. Thank you very much.
स्वाध्यायः परमं तप